My child, come closer and listen carefully to my voice today. Do not allow distractions to steal this moment from you. Do not scroll away. Do not dismiss these words as coincidence. There is a reason you are hearing this message right now. There is a reason your spirit has been restless. There is a reason certain things have not felt right lately. I have been trying to get your attention, not because I desire to frighten you, but because I love you too much to leave you uninformed. If you believe God is protecting you from something you cannot see, right, God is guiding my steps. I am your Father. I see what you cannot see. I know what is ahead before it arrives. I understand the intentions hidden behind smiles. I know the conversations that happen behind closed doors. I know the traps that have been set. I know the battles forming in places you cannot yet recognize. Nothing is hidden from me. Nothing catches me by surprise. For some time now, I have been sending warnings into your life. Sometimes those warnings came through a feeling you could not explain. Sometimes they came through a delay that frustrated you. Sometimes they came through a closed door that disappointed you. Sometimes they came through a dream, a conversation, a scripture, or an unexpected interruption. But many times, you mistook my protection for rejection. You thought I was denying you when I was actually defending you. You thought I was delaying you when I was actually preserving you. You thought I had forgotten you when I was positioning you. My child, hear me clearly today. The warning was never meant to destroy your peace. The warning was meant to protect your future. There are people who ignore warning signs and suffer consequences they could have avoided. There are people who continue walking toward danger even when every signal tells them to stop. There are people who silence conviction because they would rather follow their emotions than follow my wisdom. Do not become one of them. When I warn you, it is because I care about you. When I caution you, it is because I see what you do not. When I redirect you, it is because I know where the road leads. You have asked me for guidance. You have prayed for discernment. You have asked me to reveal truth. Yet when the answer comes in a form you do not expect, you struggle to accept it. You expected blessings to arrive wrapped in excitement, but sometimes blessings arrive wrapped in warnings. You expected open doors, but sometimes the greatest blessing is a door that remains shut. You expected immediate answers, but sometimes the answer is simply, not now. My child, there are things happening around you that require spiritual awareness. This is not the season to move carelessly. This is not the season to trust every voice. This is not the season to follow every opportunity that appears attractive. If this message spoke directly to your situation, type, I receive this warning, Lord. Many things glitter. Not everything is gold. Many voices sound convincing. Not every voice speaks truth. Many paths seem easy. Not every path leads to life. You must learn to listen beyond appearances. You must learn to hear my voice above the noise of the world. The enemy understands something that many of my children forget. He knows that destruction rarely begins with a disaster. It usually begins with a small compromise. One wrong decision, one ignored conviction, one warning dismissed. That is why I am speaking firmly to you today. Pay attention, slow down, watch carefully, pray before you proceed. Do not allow urgency to replace wisdom. Some of you listening have been feeling unusual pressure lately. You feel rushed. You feel pushed. You feel as though something is trying to force you into making a decision before you have peace about it. That pressure is not from me. I do not manipulate my children. I lead them. I guide them. I direct them. I bring clarity. When confusion increases, seek me. When anxiety rises, seek me. When uncertainty grows, seek me. I am not the author of confusion. The enemy wants you exhausted because exhausted people stop paying attention. Tired minds overlook details. Weary hearts ignore discernment. Frustrated souls become vulnerable to deception. What is one area of your life where you need God's direction right now? Share it in the comments. That is why I have been calling you back into my presence. Not because I need your attention, because you need my protection. There are spiritual battles taking place that you cannot win through human effort alone. There are situations developing that require divine wisdom. There are decisions ahead that require discernment beyond natural understanding. My child, you are not weak because you need me. You are wise because you depend on me. Many people trust their own understanding until everything falls apart. Then they come searching for answers. But I desire something different for you. I want you to walk with me before the crisis. I want you to seek me before the mistake. I want you to hear me before the consequences arrive. That is why I have been warning you. Not because disaster is your destiny, but because protection is your inheritance. There is someone listening to me right now who keeps revisiting a situation I have already told you to leave behind. You keep hoping it will change. You keep believing it will become something different. You keep trying to revive what I have already instructed you to release. My child, not everything that hurts you deserves another chance. Not everything from your past belongs in your future. Some doors remained closed because I closed them. Some relationships ended because I ended them. Some seasons finished because I completed them. Stop standing in front of closed chapters, asking me to rewrite what I have already finished. If you're choosing faith over fear today, write, I trust God's plan. Lift your eyes higher. There is more ahead than behind. There is greater purpose waiting for you. There is greater peace waiting for you. There is greater provision waiting for you. But you must stop looking backward long enough to see what I am preparing ahead. You have asked why certain plans collapsed. You have asked why certain opportunities disappeared. You have asked why some people walked away. You have asked why things did not happen according to your expectations. What if I told you that some of your greatest disappointments were actually hidden acts of divine protection? What if I told you that I file binal seljumadri panmizabits night maksite? 4. What if I told you that I prevented losses you never saw? What if I told you that I blocked attacks before they reached you? What if I told you that entire battles were fought on your behalf while you slept? You see the visible, I see the invisible. You see the moment, I see the future. You see the obstacle, I see the outcome. Trust me when you do not understand. Trust me when answers are delayed. Trust me when circumstances appear confusing. Trust me when my warnings challenge your desires. Because my wisdom is greater than your understanding. My child, I know the dreams you carry. I know the promises you are holding on to. I know the prayers you continue praying even when you feel discouraged. In a docked comment, God's timing is perfect. Comment, God's timing is perfect if you're waiting on a breakthrough. I have not forgotten them. I have not abandoned them. I have not changed my mind concerning you. But timing matters. Preparation matters. Positioning matters. There are blessings that become dangerous when received too early. There are responsibilities that become overwhelming when carried before you are ready. There are opportunities that become burdens when pursued outside of my timing. That is why my warnings are acts of mercy. That is why my delays are acts of love. That is why my instructions are acts of protection. The world teaches you to move faster. I teach you to move wisely. The world teaches you to follow your feelings. I teach you to follow truth. The world teaches you to trust appearances. I teach you to trust my voice. And today, my voice is calling you to pay attention. Something important is happening in this season. You cannot afford spiritual carelessness. You cannot afford to ignore conviction. You cannot afford to dismiss what I am showing you. The warning exists for a reason. The stirring in your spirit exists for a reason. The hesitation you feel exists for a reason. The repeated confirmations exist for a reason. I am not trying to confuse you. I am trying to guide you. I am not trying to punish you. I am trying to protect you. I am not trying to hold you back. I am preparing you for what comes next. The days ahead require wisdom. The days ahead require discernment. The days ahead require closeness with me. Stay near me, my child. Stay sensitive to my voice. Stay grounded in my word. Stay committed to prayer. Stay alert. Because what happens next will reveal why the warning was necessary. If you're ready to leave the past behind and move forward with God, type "I'm moving forward." And when the moment comes, you will understand why I kept speaking to your heart, why I kept redirecting your steps, why I kept interrupting your plans, and why I refused to remain silent when danger was near. You are not hearing this message by accident. You are hearing it because I love you. You are hearing it because I see you. You are hearing it because I am protecting you even now. And there is more that you must understand. My child, there is something I need you to understand about the season you are walking through. The warning I have been giving you is not only about what to avoid, is also about what to prepare for. Many people hear warnings and immediately think of danger, loss, or hardship. But often, my warnings come because a significant shift is approaching. I prepare my children before I elevate them. I teach them before I entrust them with greater responsibility. I strengthen them before I place them in positions where others will depend upon them. You have been praying for change. You have been asking for breakthrough. You have been crying out for doors to open. Yet there are parts of your character, your thinking, and your spiritual life that must be refined before you can safely step into what you have requested. I am not withholding blessings from you. I am preparing you to sustain them. Many people can receive a blessing. Few people can steward it. Many people can reach a new level. Few people can remain there. That is why I refuse to rush the process in your life. I know there are moments when you become impatient. I know there are days when you wonder why things seem slower than expected. You compare your journey to others. You watch people advance while you feel as though you are standing still. You wonder if I have overlooked you. What prayer request would you like this community to pray for? Let us know below. My child, I have not overlooked you. I have been working in places you cannot see. While you were praying for visible results, I was strengthening invisible foundations. While you were asking for promotion, I was building endurance. While you were asking for opportunity, I was developing wisdom. While you were asking for answers, I was shaping your heart. A building that rises high must first go deep. A tree that stands strong in storms must first establish roots. A life that carries great purpose must first develop stability. Do not despise the preparation process. Do not become frustrated with the training season. What I am building in you now will support what I bring to you later. My child, there are voices around you that are not helping your spiritual growth. Some of these voices sound reasonable. Some of them sound encouraging. Some of them even claim to speak truth. Yet their influence is slowly pulling your attention away from me. This is one reason I have been warning you, Not every influence is healthy. Not every opinion deserves access to your mind. Not every person deserves a permanent seat at your table. There are individuals who constantly magnify fear. There are individuals who continually spread negativity. There are individuals who encourage compromise while calling it freedom. There are individuals who make disobedience sound attractive. Be careful who shapes your thinking. The voices you listen to repeatedly will eventually influence the direction of your life. That is why I call you to spend time in my presence. When you remain close to me, you learn to recognize truth. When you remain close to me, deception becomes easier to identify. When you remain close to me, your discernment grows stronger. You cannot spend hours listening to the world and expect to clearly hear my voice. You cannot constantly fill your mind with confusion and expect to walk in peace. You cannot entertain every influence and remain spiritually focused. Guard your heart, my child. Guard your mind. Guard your spirit. What enters your life repeatedly will eventually affect your beliefs, your decisions, and your future. The enemy understands this principle. That is why he rarely begins with obvious attacks. He begins with subtle influences. He introduces small compromises. He plants seeds of doubt. He encourages distractions. He creates noise. If you believe God is preparing something greater for your future, write, "My blessing is coming." His goal is not always immediate destruction. His goal is often gradual drift. If he cannot stop you completely, he will try to distract you. If he cannot destroy your purpose, he will attempt to delay it. If he cannot make you abandon your faith, he will try to weaken your focus. This is why I have been calling you to pay attention. You are living in a time when distractions are everywhere. Many people are busy but not productive. Many people are informed but not wise. Many people are connected but spiritually empty. Do not follow the crowd. Follow me. There is a difference between activity and purpose. There is a difference between motion and progress. There is a difference between popularity and obedience. My child, I care far more about your obedience than your appearance. I care far more about your heart than your reputation. I care far more about your character than your public image. People often focus on what others can see. I focus on what remains hidden. I see your private battles. I see your silent prayers. I see the tears nobody else notices. I see the disappointments you rarely talk about. I see the nights when you questioned whether you could continue. I see the moments when you felt exhausted. I see the burdens you carry. And I want you to know something important today. You do not carry them alone. The enemy wants you to believe that everything depends on your strength. It does not. He wants you to believe that you must solve every problem yourself. You do not. He wants you to believe that you are isolated. You are not. I am with you. I have been with you from the beginning. I was with you during the painful seasons. I was with you during the lonely seasons. I was with you during the confusing seasons. I was with you when nobody understood what you were facing. I never left. There were times when you could not feel my presence, but my presence never departed. There were times when you could not understand my actions, but my hand remained upon your life. There were times when you thought you were forgotten, but I was actively working on your behalf. Comment, I will listen to God's voice if you're committed to following His guidance. My child, remember this truth. Silence does not mean absence. Delay does not mean denial. Waiting does not mean abandonment. Many of my greatest works happen beneath the surface before they become visible. Seeds grow underground before they appear above the soil. Foundations are built before buildings rise. Preparation comes before manifestation. Trust me during the hidden season. Trust me during the quiet season. Trust me during the waiting season. What I am doing is larger than what you currently understand. There are battles I have prevented that you never saw. There are relationships I protected you from that you never entered. There are opportunities I blocked that would have harmed you. There are dangers I removed before they reached you. One day you will look back and realize how many times my protection appeared as disappointment. You will understand why certain plans failed. You will understand why certain doors remained closed. You will understand why some people left. You will understand why certain prayers seemed unanswered. And when you see the full picture, you will thank me for the things I refused to allow. My child, another reason for my warning is that your spiritual sensitivity must increase. You cannot rely solely upon past experiences. You cannot depend only on yesterday's revelation. You must stay connected to me daily. The challenges of each season require fresh wisdom. The opportunities of each season require fresh guidance. The assignments of each season require fresh strength. Stay connected to me. Do not allow familiarity to replace intimacy. Do not assume that because you followed me yesterday, you can ignore me today. Walk with me daily. Seek me daily. Listen daily. Depend upon me daily. The enemy studies patterns. He looks for moments when people become comfortable. He looks for moments when people stop paying attention. He looks for moments when people assume they no longer need guidance. That is when many mistakes occur. Remain humble, remain teachable, remain dependent upon me. Pride has caused many people to ignore warnings. Pride has caused many people to reject correction. Pride has caused many people to walk directly into avoidable problems. Do not let pride blind you. When I correct you, receive it. When I redirect you, follow it. When I warn you, listen. Correction is not rejection. Discipline is not abandonment. Guidance is not punishment. These are expressions of my love. A loving father warns his children. A loving father protects his children. A loving father prepares his children. And that is exactly what I am doing for you. My child, there is also a temptation that you must recognize. The temptation to settle. After waiting for a long time, people often become willing to accept less than what I intended. If you've seen God's protection in your life before, share your testimony in one sentence. After experiencing disappointment, people often lower their expectations. After facing delays, people sometimes compromise. Do not settle for counterfeits. Do not accept substitutes for my promises. Do not trade long-term blessings for short-term relief. The enemy often offers quick alternatives. I offer lasting fulfillment. The enemy offers immediate gratification. I offer enduring peace. The enemy offers shortcuts. I offer wisdom. Be patient. The right door is worth waiting for. The right opportunity is worth waiting for. The right relationship is worth waiting for. The right timing is worth waiting for. Never allow temporary frustration to push you into permanent regret. My child, I know there are areas of your life where you desire immediate change. I know there are situations you want resolved today. I know there are burdens you wish would disappear instantly. Continue trusting me. Continue walking with me. Continue praying. Continue believing. Do not allow present circumstances to define future expectations. Your current situation is not your final destination. Your present struggle is not the conclusion of your story. Your temporary difficulty is not the end of my plan. I am still writing chapters you have not yet read. I am still opening doors you have not yet seen. I am still arranging circumstances beyond your awareness. I am still working. Even now, while you listen to these words, I am working. Even now, while you wait, I am working. Even now, while you wonder, I am working. Even now, while you pray, I am working. Nothing is wasted in my hands, not your pain, not your waiting, not your disappointments, not your tears. I can use every part of your journey for good. I can redeem every season. I can restore what was lost. I can heal what was broken. I can transform what seemed impossible. That is why you must not lose heart. The warning is not a sign that I have abandoned you. The warning is evidence that I am actively involved in your life. The warning proves that I am speaking. Write the name of a loved one you want God to protect and bless today. The warning proves that I am guiding. The warning proves that I am protecting. And there is still something even more important that you need to hear, because what is coming next will reveal why I have been urging you to stay alert, stay prayerful, and stay close to me. My child, as you continue listening to my voice, I want you to understand that the warning I have given you is not merely about avoiding danger. It is also about recognizing the spiritual battle surrounding your destiny. There are seasons in life when everything seems ordinary on the surface, yet significant movements are taking place in the spiritual realm. This is one of those seasons. You have wondered why resistance has increased. You have questioned why certain struggles seem to appear just when you are trying to move forward. You have asked why some battles feel unusually intense. Hear me clearly, Lestus. Not every difficulty is a sign that you are moving in the wrong direction. Sometimes opposition increases because you are moving closer to the very thing I promised you. The enemy does not waste energy attacking what has no purpose. He does not invest effort in what carries no potential. He does not fear what poses no threat to his plans. The reason certain battles have intensified is because your future carries significance. The reason some attacks have become persistent is because your purpose matters. The reason discouragement keeps trying to find its way into your heart is because there is something ahead that the enemy hopes you never reach. But my child, what I have spoken over your life cannot be cancelled by fear. What I have ordained cannot be destroyed by opposition. What I have prepared cannot be stolen by the schemes of darkness. You must stop measuring your future by your present circumstances. You must stop allowing temporary obstacles to define permanent outcomes. You must stop assuming that difficulty means defeat. If you're trusting God through a difficult season, type, "God is with me." Many of my children become discouraged because they expected every step of obedience to be easy. They imagined that once they began following me faithfully, all resistance would disappear. Yet even throughout history, those who walked closely with me faced challenges. They faced opposition. They faced delays, they faced uncertainty, but they also witnessed my faithfulness. They also experienced my provision. They also saw my power. The same will be true for you. You are not walking alone. You are not fighting alone. You are not facing these challenges without help. I am with you. I am strengthening you. I am equipping you. I am guiding you. And I am preparing you for what lies ahead. My child, one of the greatest dangers in this season is discouragement. Discouragement is more destructive than many realize. It weakens confidence. It clouds judgment. It steals momentum. It causes people to abandon assignments that were almost complete. The enemy wants you discouraged because discouraged people stop expecting good things. Discouraged people stop praying boldly. Discouraged people stop believing promises. Discouraged people become vulnerable to fear. That is why you must guard your hope. Hope is not wishful thinking. Hope is confidence in my faithfulness. Hope is trusting my character even when circumstances seem uncertain. Hope is believing that I remain good even when life becomes difficult. Hope is remembering what I have done before and trusting what I can do again. Do not surrender your hope. Do not allow temporary setbacks to convince you that your future is hopeless. I have not brought you this far to abandon you. I have not carried you through previous battles only to leave you now. I have not sustained you through difficult seasons only to forget you in this one. My faithfulness has not changed. My power has not diminished. My promises have not expired. Continue trusting me. Continue moving forward. Continue believing. The breakthrough you seek may be closer than you realize. The answer you need may already be developing. The opportunity you have prayed for may already be approaching. The restoration you desire may already be unfolding. Just because you cannot see it yet does not mean I am not working. My child, I also want to address the fear that has been trying to enter your thoughts. What part of this message impacted you the most? Share your thoughts below. Fear has many voices. Sometimes it whispers that you will fail. Sometimes it whispers that you are not qualified. Sometimes it whispers that you have missed your opportunity. Sometimes it whispers that it is too late. Sometimes it whispers that your mistakes are too great for redemption. These voices do not come from me. I do not speak through fear. I do not motivate through terror. I do not guide through panic. My voice brings clarity. My voice brings direction. My voice brings peace. When fear begins speaking loudly, return to my presence. When anxiety increases, seek me. When uncertainty grows, trust me. Do not allow fear to become your counselor. Do not allow worry to become your guide. Do not allow anxiety to become your decision maker. Let my truth lead you. Fear focuses on what might go wrong. Faith focuses on who is in control. Fear magnifies obstacles. Faith magnifies my power. Fear imagines defeat. Faith expects my faithfulness. Choose faith, my child, not because every answer is visible, but because I am trustworthy. My child, there are some people listening who have become weary from carrying burdens that were never meant to be theirs. If you believe this message was sent to you for a reason, write, "This message was for me." You carry responsibility for situations beyond your control. You carry anxiety about things you cannot change. You carry concerns about outcomes you cannot guarantee. You carry worries about people you cannot fix. And the weight has become heavy. Hear me today. Release those burdens to me. You were never designed to carry everything. You were never meant to control every outcome. You were never assigned the role of savior. That position belongs to me. Trust me with what you cannot manage. Trust me with what you cannot understand. Trust me with what you cannot change. You do not honor me by carrying burdens I have invited you to surrender. You honor me by trusting me enough to release them. There is freedom waiting for you. There is peace waiting for you. There is rest waiting for you. But it requires surrender. Surrender is not weakness. Surrender is trust. Surrender is acknowledging that my wisdom exceeds yours. Surrender is placing confidence in my ability rather than your own. My child, another reason for my warning is because your attention has been pulled in too many directions. Comment amen if you're ready to walk in obedience, wisdom, and God's perfect will. You have been trying to do everything. You have been trying to help everyone. You have been trying to solve every problem. You have been trying to meet every expectation. And in the process, you have become exhausted. Not every opportunity requires your involvement. Not every request requires your acceptance. Not every problem requires your solution. You must learn the power of focus. You must learn the wisdom of priorities. You must learn the importance of boundaries. There are assignments I have given you. There are responsibilities I have entrusted to you. There are purposes I have called you to fulfill. Focus on those. Do not allow distractions to consume the energy needed for your assignment. The enemy often uses distraction because it appears harmless. A distracted person may remain busy while accomplishing very little. A distracted person may feel productive while drifting away from purpose. Stay focused. Stay intentional. Stay attentive to my direction. My child, there are also blessings approaching that require preparation. Many people pray for increase without preparing for stewardship. Many people pray for influence without preparing for responsibility. Many people pray for opportunity without preparing for discipline. I am preparing you because what is coming requires maturity. The next season of your life cannot be entered with the mindset of the previous season. The next assignment requires growth. The next opportunity requires wisdom. The next level requires character. That is why I have been teaching you lessons through your current circumstances. Nothing has been random. Nothing has been meaningless. Nothing has been wasted. Every challenge has carried a lesson. Every delay has carried a purpose. Every obstacle has carried an opportunity for growth. You may not understand everything now, but one day you will look back and recognize my hand in every season. You will see how I used difficult experiences to strengthen you. You will see how I used disappointments to redirect you. You will see how I used waiting periods to prepare you. You will see how I used challenges to build resilience. And you will understand why the warning was necessary. My child, I also want you to remember that obedience often requires courage. There will be moments when following my instruction feels uncomfortable. There will be moments when obedience requires walking away from familiar things. There will be moments when obedience means trusting me without having every detail. If you believe God is protecting you from something you cannot see, right, God is guiding my steps. Do not let fear stop you. Do not let uncertainty paralyze you. Do not let the opinions of others determine your direction. Follow me. Even when others do not understand, even when the path seems unusual, even when the outcome is not yet visible. Trust me enough to obey. The safest place for your life is within my will, not because challenges disappear there, but because my presence remains there, not because every question is answered there, but because my guidance remains there, not because every road is easy there, but because my protection remains there. My child, I know you desire certainty. I know you want clear answers. I know you would like to see the entire path before taking the next step. But faith often requires movement before visibility. Faith often requires trust before evidence. Faith often requires obedience before understanding. Walk with me one step at a time. Do not become overwhelmed by the future. Focus on today's obedience. Focus on today's faithfulness. Focus on today's trust. I will provide tomorrow's guidance when tomorrow arrives. My child, the warning I have given you is ultimately an invitation to draw closer, an invitation to trust deeper, an invitation to listen more carefully, an invitation to depend upon me more completely. This is not the time to drift away. This is the time to come nearer. This is not the time to become careless. This is the time to become attentive. This is not the time to rely solely upon yourself. This is the time to rely upon me. Because there are things I am about to reveal. There are doors I am about to open. There are truths I am about to make clear. There are assignments I am about to release, and the closer you remain to me, the more clearly you will recognize my hand when these things begin to unfold. If this message spoke directly to your situation, type, "I receive this warning, Lord." Stay alert, my child. Stay prayerful, stay faithful, stay expectant. For what I am preparing to show you will explain many of the questions you have carried, and what happens next will reveal why I kept warning you, why I kept calling your name, and why I refused to let you continue without hearing my voice. My child, as you continue to listen, I need you to understand something that many people overlook when they receive a warning from me. A warning is not merely information. A warning is an opportunity. It is an opportunity to change direction before consequences arrive. It is an opportunity to gain wisdom before mistakes are made. It is an opportunity to draw closer to me before confusion takes root. Many people ask me for signs, but when signs appear, they ignore them. Many people ask me for guidance, but when guidance arrives, they resist it. Many people ask me to speak, but when I speak in ways that challenge their plans, they become unwilling to listen. My child, do not let that happen to you. You have prayed too many prayers. You have endured too many battles. You have come too far to ignore what I am showing you now. There is a reason this message keeps finding its way to your heart. There is a reason these words stir something deep within you. There is a reason you cannot easily dismiss what you are hearing. I am speaking because your future matters. I am speaking because your destiny matters. I am speaking because your obedience matters. I am speaking because I love you. There are moments in life when a single decision changes everything. A single conversation, a single agreement, a single compromise, a single act of obedience. One choice can create a ripple effect that influences years of your future. That is why discernment is so important right now. Not every opportunity is an assignment. Not every invitation is from me. Not every open door should be entered. Some doors open because I opened them. Others open because the enemy hopes you will walk through them. You must learn the difference. You must learn to pause before proceeding. You must learn to pray before committing. You must learn to seek my wisdom before making decisions. The world rewards speed. I reward wisdom. The world celebrates impulsiveness. I honor discernment. The world pressures people to act quickly. I teach my children to move according to my timing. My child, if something is truly from me, you do not need to force it. What is one area of your life where you need God's direction right now? Share it in the comments. You do not need to manipulate circumstances. You do not need to compromise your integrity. You do not need to abandon your values. You do not need to silence conviction. What comes from me will align with my character. What comes from me will not require disobedience. What comes from me will not demand compromise. Pay attention to that. Many of the warnings I have given you recently involve areas where compromise has been quietly presenting itself. Not necessarily large compromises, small ones, subtle ones, the kind that appear harmless, the kind that seem insignificant, the kind that people justify because everyone else is doing the same thing. But my child, small compromises often create large consequences. A small leak can eventually sink a ship. A small crack can eventually weaken a foundation. A small deviation can eventually lead someone far from their intended destination. Guard your integrity. Guard your convictions. Guard the principles I have placed within your heart. Do not trade what is eternal for what is temporary. Do not trade peace for popularity. Do not trade obedience for convenience. Do not trade truth for acceptance. There will always be pressure to conform. There will always be pressure to fit in. There will always be pressure to follow the crowd. But I have not called you to follow the crowd. I have called you to follow me. My child, some of you listening have become discouraged because obedience has not produced immediate results. You obeyed, yet the door did not open immediately. You trusted me, yet the answer did not arrive immediately. You remained faithful, yet circumstances did not change immediately. Now you are tempted to wonder whether obedience was worth it. Hear me clearly, obedience is never wasted. If you're choosing faith over fear today, write, I trust God's plan. Faithfulness is never wasted. Trust is never wasted. Even when results are delayed, obedience is accomplishing something. It is strengthening your character. It is deepening your faith. It is positioning you for what comes next. Do not measure the value of obedience solely by visible outcomes. Measure it by your relationship with me. Measure it by the peace it produces. Measure it by the wisdom it develops. Measure it by the protection it provides. There are blessings you have not yet seen because they are still developing. There are answers you have not yet received because they are still unfolding. There are breakthroughs you have not yet experienced because the timing is still being prepared. Comment, God's timing is perfect if you're waiting on a breakthrough. Remain faithful. Remain patient. Remain steadfast. My child, I know there are questions you still carry. Questions about relationships, questions about finances, questions about family, questions about your future, questions about promises that seem delayed. You want certainty, you want explanations, you want details, but there are times when I give direction before I give explanation. There are times when I ask for trust before I provide understanding. There are times when I reveal the next step without revealing the entire journey. Why? Because faith grows through dependence. If you knew everything in advance, you would be tempted to rely upon your own understanding. If every detail were visible, you might stop seeking me. But when you trust me, one step at a time, intimacy develops, relationship deepens, faith matures, dependence increases, and those things are valuable. My child, do not confuse unanswered questions with unanswered prayers. Some prayers are being answered in ways you do not yet recognize. Some prayers are being answered through processes rather than instant miracles. Some prayers are being answered through preparation. Some prayers are being answered through protection. Some prayers are being answered through delays that prevent future pain. If you're ready to leave the past behind and move forward with God, type, I'm moving forward. Trust that I know what I am doing. Trust that I see the entire picture. Trust that I understand what is best. You do not need complete understanding in order to trust me. You only need to remember my faithfulness. Remember how I brought you through previous challenges. Remember how I provided when resources seemed limited. Remember how I opened doors when opportunities seemed impossible. Remember how I comforted you during painful seasons. Remember how I carried you when you felt weak. The God who helped you then is helping you now. The God who protected you then is protecting you now. The God who guided you then is guiding you now. I have not changed. My child, another warning I need you to hear involves comparison. Comparison has quietly stolen joy from many of my children. They look at someone else's journey and question their own. They look at someone else's success and become dissatisfied. They look at someone else's progress and become impatient. But comparison is dangerous because it causes people to lose sight of the unique path I have prepared for them. You do not know the entire story behind what you see. You do not know every battle another person has fought. You do not know every sacrifice they have made. You do not know every lesson they have learned. Focus on your assignment. Focus on your growth. Focus on your relationship with me. The plans I have for you are not identical to the plans I have for someone else. Your timeline is not their timeline. Your calling is not their calling. Your journey is not their journey. Stop measuring your progress against people who were given different assignments. What prayer request would you like this community to pray for? Let us know below. Instead, focus on becoming everything I created you to be. My child, there is another reason I have been warning you. I am preparing you for greater responsibility. Many people desire greater blessings. Few people desire greater responsibility. Yet the two often arrive together. Influence brings responsibility, opportunity brings responsibility, increase brings responsibility, promotion brings responsibility. As I elevate you, your decisions will matter more. As I increase your influence, your example will matter more. As I expand your opportunities, your stewardship will matter more. That is why I am teaching you now. That is why I am correcting you now. That is why I am refining you now. The lessons you learn today will protect you tomorrow. The wisdom you gain today will serve you later. The discipline you develop today will sustain future blessings. Do not resist the process. Embrace it. Trust it. Allow me to shape you. Gold is refined before it shines. Leaders are prepared before they lead. Strong foundations are built before great structures rise. My child, there are moments ahead when you will need to remember these words. Moments when circumstances will tempt you to panic. Moments when uncertainty will tempt you to fear. Moments when delays will tempt you to doubt. When those moments arrive, remember this message. Remember that I warned you because I love you. Remember that I guided you because I care for you. Remember that I corrected you because I am committed to your future. If you believe God is preparing something greater for your future, write, "My blessing is coming." Remember that I protected you because you are mine. Do not allow temporary emotions to override eternal truth. Feelings change, circumstances change, opinions change, but my truth remains. My promises remain, my character remains, my faithfulness remains. My child, I also need you to understand that not every battle requires direct confrontation. Some battles are won through prayer. Some battles are won through patience. Some battles are won through silence. Some battles are won through walking away. Many people waste energy fighting battles I never asked them to fight. They argue when they should pray. They strive when they should trust. They react when they should remain still. Seek my wisdom before engaging. Ask me whether a battle is yours to fight. Not every criticism deserves a response. Not every accusation deserves your attention. Not every conflict deserves your involvement. Sometimes the greatest victory is refusing to be distracted. Sometimes the greatest wisdom is remaining focused. Sometimes the greatest strength is exercising restraint. My child, the warning I have given you is leading towards something important. The season ahead will require spiritual maturity. The season ahead will require discernment. The season ahead will require trust. The season ahead will require courage. But do not be afraid. I would not be preparing you if I did not intend to help you succeed. I would not be teaching you if I did not have plans for your future. I would not be warning you if I intended to abandon you. Everything I am doing is motivated by love. Everything I am doing is motivated by purpose. Everything I am doing is motivated by my desire to see you walk safely into the future I have prepared. Comment, I will listen to God's voice if you're committed to following His guidance. Stay close to me, stay attentive, stay prayerful, Stay obedient, because there is still more that you need to understand about the warning, and what I am about to reveal next will uncover the deeper reason why I have been calling for your attention, why I have been stirring your spirit, and why I have been urging you not to ignore my voice in this crucial season of your life. My child, there is a deeper reason behind the warning I have been giving you, and it is time for you to understand it. Many people assume that my warnings are only about avoiding danger, but often my warnings are connected to destiny. I speak because there are moments in life when the choices you make carry unusual significance. There are crossroads where one decision can influence years to come. There are seasons when the direction you choose matters more than you realize. You are standing in such a season now. This is not a time for careless decisions. This is not a time for spiritual laziness. This is not a time for drifting wherever emotions lead. This is a time for seeking me with sincerity. This is a time for listening carefully. This is a time for discernment. The enemy knows something that many of my children forget. He understands that if he can distract a person at the right moment, he may delay blessings, opportunities, and assignments that were approaching. He may delay blessings, opportunities, and assignments that were approaching. He understands that a moment of carelessness can create consequences that take years to correct. That is why distractions have increased. That is why confusion has tried to surround you. That is why discouragement has attempted to wear you down. That is why certain temptations have appeared unexpectedly. None of these things are random. The enemy is strategic. But my wisdom is greater. My power is greater. My plans are greater. And as long as you remain close to me, you do not need to fear what the enemy is planning. You only need to remain attentive to what I am saying.